nominees appointed by President Muhammadu Buhari as commissioners of the National Population Commission. Also confirmed were 4 other nominees as commissioners of the Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission. The confirmation of the nominees followed the consideration of 2 separate reports by the Committees on National Identity and National Population and Power. In a similar development, the Senate also confirmed the nomination of Emily Chidinma Osuji as the Executive Director of the Nigerian Deposit Insurance Corporation.
The committee has diligently screened the following nominees and found them suitable, and hereby recommends them for confirmation as commissioners of the National Population Commission: Chief Engineer Benedict Effiong, Akwa Ibom; Ms. Gloria Patea Ozumfo, Bayelsa State; Barrister Kufchi Patricia Ori Iyanya, Benue State; Dr. Haliru Bala from Kebbi State; Dr. Eitayo Oyenkuli from Oyo State. Our prayers, Mr. President, that the Senate do confirm the nomination of the 5 nominees as commissioners of the National Population Commission.
In view of the foregoing, the committee recommends that the underlisted nominees be confirmed. Dr. Yusuf O. Ali as Commissioner of the Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission, North Central. Engineer Chidi Ike as Commissioner of the Nigerian Electricity Regulation Commission, Southeast. Mr. Dafesi Akweneye as Commissioner of the Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission, South-South. Mr. Nathan Rogers Shati as Commissioner of Nigerian Electricity Commission, Northeast. Mr. President, if we look at it, there's a slight mix-up. That can be corrected. Why Nathan is Northeast, they are put in South-South, Dafe. South-South, they put in Northeast. I think those are minor corrections that can be done. Prayers, Mr. President, that the Senate do consider the report of the committee and approve its recommendations.
Will the Senate confirm the nomination of Chief Engineer Okpon Effiong, FCSE, from Akwa Ibom State as Commissioner of the National Population Commission, NPC? Those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes are. The nomination of Chief Engineer Benedict Okpon Effiong, FCSE, from Akwa Ibom State is hereby confirmed as Commissioner of the National Population Commission, NPC. Will the Senate confirm the nomination of Mrs. Gloria Fatai Izomfo from Bayelsa State as Commissioner of the National Population Commission, NPC? Those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes are. The nomination of Mrs. Gloria Fatai Izomfo from Bayelsa State is hereby confirmed as Commissioner of the National Population Commission, NPC. Will the Senate confirm the nomination of Barrister Kupchi Patricia Ori Iyanya from Benue State as Commissioner of the National Population Commission, NPC? Those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes. The nomination of Barrister Kupchi Patricia Ori Iyanya from Benue State is hereby confirmed as Commissioner of the National Population Commission, NPC. Will the Senate confirm the nomination of Dr. Haliru Bala, FCE, FNIMN, from Kebbi State as Commissioner of the National Population Commission, NPC? Those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes are. The nomination of Dr. Haliru Bala, FCE, FNIMN, from Kebbi State is hereby confirmed as Commissioner of the National Population Commission, NPC. Will the Senate confirm the nomination of Dr. Eitayo Oyekule Oyotunji from Oyo State as Commissioner of the National Population Commission, NPC? Those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes. The nomination of Dr. Eitayo Oyekule Oyetunji from Oyo State is hereby confirmed as Commissioner of the National Population Commission, NPC. Congratulations to all of them, and the Senate wishes them very fruitful and successful tenure in office. Leader.
In another development, the Senate has directed its committees on health, primary health care, and communicable diseases to investigate abandoned national primary health centers across the country. Moving the motion on the need to the abandoned project, the lawmaker representing Kwara Central in the House, Iroyin Lekunrere, said the issue of the project has long been overdue. He noted that the health centers were established to provide effective healthcare delivery and improve the nation's health sector. The Senate thereafter mandated its Committee on Health to carry out full-scale investigation into the abandoned projects.
Respected colleagues, I thank you for giving me the opportunity to move this motion on the need to investigate the abandoned 400 billion naira National Primary Health Care Center project. The Senate notes that a National Primary Health Care Center project was initiated by the administration of the former President Joseph Obasanjo in the year 2006 to build in each of the 774 local government areas in Nigeria a 60-bed health centers, which was to be complemented with 3-bedroom flat, doctor's quarters, an ambulance, and all basic hospital equipment and drugs. The Senate further notes that in order to achieve this lofty project, the federal government deducted monies from the excess crude account of all the 774 local government areas on a monthly basis, whereas the same money with the then Platinum Abib Bank, now Keystone Bank, until the funds required for the actualization of the project was realized. And the Senate is disturbed that many or some of these projects were commenced and abandoned at various stages, while majority of them were never started, despite huge sum of money released to all subcontractors.
Mr. President, this is one time to make good what we have said about the 9th Senate. The investigation must go on. We must be able to lay the blames where they should be really. And something good must come out of this. 440 billion naira, Mr. President, is something that would work well for our people in the health sector. Thank you very much.
Mr. President, I think this is an opportunity for us to really look into this matter dispassionately and put the blame where it is, because Nigerians have been shortchanged about the project. The money has been paid very substantially, but there's nothing to show for it.
The House of Representatives has resolved to investigate the incessant leaking of questions set for examinations conducted by the West African Examination Council. This followed the increase in cases of examination malpractices and cancellation of results by the Council. Moving the motion today, a member of the House, Benjamin Kalu, urged WAEC to establish more rigorous standards for the administration, monitoring, supervision, and the evaluation of O-level examinations in the country. Kalu also urged the Committee on Basic Education and Services to investigate the incessant leakages of the West African Senior School Certificate Examination questions, as well as the repeated and unconscionable cancellation of examination by the Council. The committee is to report back within 4 weeks for further legislative action. The Group Managing Director of the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited, Mele Kyari, has apologized to Nigerians over the importation of adulterated fuel into the country. Kyari tendered the apology today when he appeared before the House of Representatives Committee on Petroleum Downstream. Kyari, who noted that the situation is completely unavoidable, affirmed that the NNPC is doing everything possible to correct the situation.
Honorable members, that we have taken every necessary step to restore supply into this country. We have placed orders significant enough for us to cross into February, into March, with at least 2.1 billion liters of PMS in our custody. And the situation you are seeing today now, I can assure you that by next week it will vanish, all things being equal because of distribution issues that I may not have control over, including the movement of trucks. Otherwise, we have robust supply arrangement to make sure that we exit this situation. the shortages that you will see is because we have to stop the distribution of those products, inject new products, isolate the ones that we can utilize, and then ultimately the supply process continue. That's why you are seeing the relaxation that you are seeing today, is that we have continued, isolated the products that we can't utilize, injected new products, accepted those that are not coming from that timeline.
Fuel queues has recently caused gridlock in most of our major cities, affecting traffic movement. Some fuel stations are locked, while the few that are open have long queues of motorists waiting to buy fuel. This situation is not different in the capital city, Abuja, and our major cities, where the majority of filling stations are shut and motorists spend hours in the shop struggling to buy from few that are open. It is a fact that this problem is as a result of the importation of adulterated PMS, which is confirmed to have a high percentage of methanol.
The Trade Union Congress, TUC, says it is monitoring and engaging with stakeholders over the prolonged fuel scarcity in many parts of the country. This is as it noted that the situation, apart from resulting in high transport fares in many states, has also caused untold hardship to many Nigerians. Speaking with newsmen today in Abuja, the national president of the union, Quadri Olaleye, noted that the TUC might be forced to take an emergency decision if the situation persists after its consultation. Olaleye hinted that the union might proceed on industrial action or a nationwide protest over the problem of fuel scarcity. Olaleye also revealed that the union has commenced the process of organizing and mobilizing workers who will provide support in putting an end to the challenges facing the country. The Federal Fire Service has warned Nigerians against storing petrol at home to prevent fire outbreak. Speaking with newsmen in Abuja, the Acting Controller General of the service, Karibu Samson, decried importation of adulterated fuel, which led to the scarcity of petrol and the resultant long queues in filling stations across the country. Karibu said storing petrol in homes and the current scarcity can endanger lives. He said the people risk having a fire outbreak or explosion if there is a source of ignition such as a naked flame or an electrical spark near the stored petrol. In a related development, the residents of Ondo State have continued to lament the hardships experienced over the scarcity of petrol in the state. This is as long queues have continued to build up at filling stations, while most of the stations remain locked. In an interview with Impact News Crew, some of the residents noted that petrol dealers now sell above the official pump price. They appeal to the state and federal government to make petrol available to ease the hardship on the people.
Make the fuel available because people are suffering. Have been here since 7 o'clock. The station is not selling, and we're told that they are going to sell as from 11 o'clock. So I'm waiting to buy the fuel.
All the filling station where we get from where they for Akure here, we just if we get there, there's no fare. There's no fare. I don't know the real source of this thing. So we are confused. We beg our government to help us. If there's no fare, Nigeria is in problem.
My appeal will be to the government and agencies who are responsible for making sure these things are available readily to expedite their moves and their necessary actions so that people would be relieved of all this stress, because it's not ideal for an OPEC nation like Nigeria to be queuing up for fuel like this.
Ahead of the International Women's Day, the Oyo State government has expressed the determination to reduce the practice of female genital mutilation to the barest minimum. The wife of the Oyo State Governor, Tamino Minini Makinde, made the remark during the celebration of this year's International Day of Zero Tolerance for Female Genital Mutilation in Oyo State. Hanwa Komalafe completes the report.
According to UNICEF published reports, 5 states in Nigeria, namely Ebonyi, Ekiti, Imo, Osun, and Oyo, are leading in female genital mutilation. Nigeria accounts for the 3rd highest number of women and girls who have undergone female genital mutilation. To address the trend, the wife of the Oyo State Governor, Engineer Tamunomenene Makinde, hosted medical experts, circumcisers, civil society organizations, market women, and other stakeholders to sensitize them on the need to put an end to the practice of female genital mutilation. Represented by the Commissioner for Special Duties, Alaja Fausat Jokesoni, the governor's wife expressed joy that the state is witnessing decrease in the prevalence rate.
Stakeholders involved in these harmful practices against women, especially. So we are putting this one in the forefront. That is, we are intensifying efforts in making sure that it is well known, not just in this corner, but all across Oyo State.
Also speaking, the Commissioner for Women Affairs and Social Inclusion, Alaja Kafilat Omolabake Olaiwola, urged those who are still practicing the art to desist or face the wrath of the law.
Láti fi òpin ti kúrò mọ́ bá àmàwáyé náà ló fa pípéjọpọ̀ tí àpéjọpọ̀ lẹ́nìí torí pé láti gbogbo local government ni a ti pè gbogbo àwọn èèyàn, àpà àwọn ìyá lọ́jà, àpà àwọn bàbá lọ́jà, a pè àwọn obìnrin agbègbè, a pè oríṣiríṣi àwọn obìnrin yẹn wípé olúkálùkù tán bá gbọ́ bíbá ilé ni wọ́n á lè mú lọ sí orí ìgbèríko tí olúkálùkù ti wá.
In her words, the Oyo State FGM coordinator, Mrs. Balkis Olawoyin, pointed out that the practice has no health benefit for girls and women, stressing that efforts are ongoing to reduce the trend to its barest minimum.
They have also kind of promised us that they are going to institute a kind of internal surveillance among their members and report to us whenever they caught anybody practicing it. And we even have some that, they make us realize that truly they have stopped.
Other stakeholders said FGM can lead to severe bleeding, infections, complications in childbirth, and increased risk of newborn death.
Each long inherited bad tradition, and when we say something is bad, it must be eliminated. What are the consequences of this act? Hemorrhage, sepsis, tetanus, difficulty in having sex.
Once we were blind, now we can see. And when you can see, you won't strike your leg against a stone. So we shouldn't do it again, but we need to educate those who believe it should be done, to let them know why it should not be done. Let nobody hide under is traditional, is cultural. Culture changes.
They, however, urge the state government to equip circumcisers with other skills that can serve as source of income.
To look at a way of helping them. You say man must stop doing something from where he gets his sources of existence. We must do something little way and do it in a perfect way that it will go down well with them. They will not misuse it. There are bricklayers, there are tailors, there are all sorts of people. Everybody has a right to go to the farm. Let them give them some farming implements.
FGM is regarded internationally as a violation of the rights of girls and women. Anu Akomalafe, IETV News.
The Minister of Education, Adamu, has described as surprising the one-month industrial action embarked upon by the Academic Staff Union of Universities, ASU. The minister, who spoke to the White Briefing State House correspondent after the Federal Executive Council, stated that the federal government should not be blamed if no agreement has been reached after several negotiations between both parties. He, however, lamented the fact that ASU's decision to embark on strike came abruptly amidst ongoing negotiations. He noted that from inception, the federal government has always been ready to meet them on all the issues they have raised. Moving on, students have called on warring parties to reach an agreement to put a stop to the incessant strike by the Academic Staff Union of Universities. This is as they lamented the one-month warning strike embarked upon by the union following federal government's failure to implement the various agreements it entered with the union. Ayodele Fake has details. All right, we'll bring you details in our subsequent bulletin. We'll now go on a short break. News round returns shortly. Please don't go anywhere.
You can now enjoy unlimited access to all the amazing content Impact Africa Television IATV has to offer on free-to-air via Nightcomsat. To enjoy all our amazing programs, get a 60cm or 90cm dish and a strong decoder or any MP4 decoder. Face the dish to Nightcomsat's direction, same as DSTV direction, and impute the following details. For frequency, press 12518. For polarization.
Alright, you're welcome back. You're still watching News Round on Impact Africa Television, ITV. Now the rest of the news. The House of Representatives has resolved to investigate the Nigeria Correctional Service over the deplorable state of inmates and unwholesome working conditions of its officers. The lawmakers passed the resolution during plenary session today, following the adoption of a motion on the urgent need to investigate the unwholesome working conditions in the service. Moving the motion, the minority leader of the House, Ndudi Elumelu, said despite the increase in the budgetary allocations to the service, the quality of the service has not improved. Elumelu added that the officers of the service still parade substandard weapons which do not help in effective response to internal and external threats. He called on the service to prioritize the welfare of the officers and men in line with international best practices to propel them to optimal performance. In another development, the House of Representatives has moved to ensure that the voting by lawmakers on the bills to amend some sections of the 1999 Constitution is credible and transparent. This is as the lawmakers today carried out a test run of the electronic voting during plenary with the computers installed, which has been adopted for the exercise coming up in 2 weeks' time. In his remarks, the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Femi Wajabiamila, said the adoption of electronic voting is of essence.
Is to be able to determine for the people back home that we represent whether we're protecting their interest or we're voting in their interest or not. So the voting, electronic voting, is not just about the numbers, it's about the record and the pattern of voting.
On the foreign scene, Hong Kong's healthcare system has been overwhelmed by a huge surge in COVID-19 cases, with infected patients being treated outside crowded hospitals. The government has also admitted that it is struggling to contain the fifth wave of infections fueled by the Omicron variant. The nation today recorded 4,285 new cases as Chinese President Xi Jinping urged local leaders to take unnecessary measures. In the meantime, tighter controls are expected in China's special administrative region, but without the strict mass testing and lockdowns seen in mainland China. More than 10,000 people are waiting to be admitted to hospitals as experts warn cases could surge to 28,000 daily. It will be recalled that the Chinese government has struggled to persuade residents to get vaccinated, with a relatively low uptake among the elderly people in particular. And still on the foreign scene, children between the ages of 5 to 11 years in England will now be offered a low-dose COVID-19 vaccine. In a statement today, Healthcare Secretary Sajid Javid said official scientific advice has concluded that the move will help protect this very small number of children who become seriously ill with the virus. Javid, however, noted that the rollout will be non-urgent, with emphasis on parental choice. It will be recalled that Wales and Scotland have earlier announced plans to offer young children COVID-19 vaccines. Elsewhere, at least 38 people have died in landslides and flash flooding in the Brazilian city of Petropolis. According to emergency workers, the city, which is located in the mountains north of Rio de Janeiro, was hit by torrential rainfall. Houses in hillside neighborhoods were destroyed and cars swept away as floodwaters raced through the city street. In the meantime, the city's mayor has declared a state of emergency while search and rescue teams are combing the mud for survivors. Also, President Jair Bolsonaro said he will organize immediate help for the victims. And for more on the foreign scene, let's join our studios. United States President